I do not own any content in this video. All footage is property of Sucker Punch Productions and Sony Computer Entertainment America. Hey guys, I'm sorry for that little disclaimer intro that I had to add at the beginning of the video. I do not want to get in trouble for copyright infringement, so I'm just going to add that as the intro to my videos whenever I feel there is copyright material. So a couple days ago at Gamescom, Sucker Punch released a new trailer for Infamous Second Son, and I gotta tell you, it looks stunning. The city is beautiful, the graphics are glorious, and we get our first glimpse of another Conduit character. I'm not sure if she is a villain or if Delsin has evil karma, because I'm going to point out a few key things a little bit later in this video. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the trailer first. I'm going to talk about the trailer afterwards. Hopefully I can keep the video fairly short. I don't want to make it too long. But yeah, that's basically what we're going to do today. So I hope you enjoy everything you see. I'm sorry for the bad quality, guys. I know it's not the best, but I recorded this through my PS3 on the TV because I don't have any other way to record it. I know people will say, what about a screen recorder for your computer? Well, the editing program on my computer sucks, and I don't have enough money to get a better one, so I'm just going to record these videos from my TV off of my PS3's YouTube application. That's what it's going to be. You've never had a problem with it before. I mean, I don't use capture cards, and I have 800 subscribers, so I'm sure you guys won't mind. Not to brag or anything. I'm not bragging. I'm just putting that out there. Let's go.
My name is Abigail Walker, but my friends and enemies call me Fetch. I've never hurt an innocent person in my life.
Hey, Reg, that conduit struck again. Gotta stroll through the security checkpoint first, and then I'll scope it out. That's 2 out of 3. Delsin, you all right, brother? What happened? Come on, get up, get up. I know just where to put filth like this. She won't be hurting anybody else. What do you think I'm doing to the DUP? When it comes to conduits, it's my call. Not yours, not ours. Damn, I love meeting new people.
Oh man, that is so cool. I love the ending. That's badass. I can't wait to play this. I get more and more excited every time they release new trailers. So this is Abigail Walker. Her nickname is Fetch. You know, like go fetch with a dog. And her power appears to be the ability to control light. That's not confirmed. I don't know what it is actually called, but that's what it looks like. Which is funny because the night before this trailer was released, me and Ricky were talking about powers that conduits could have, that Delsin might be able to use, and he actually said light. Now, obviously, he wasn't talking about the same thing that's in this trailer. He was talking about something entirely different, but it was still light. And that's kind of funny because, you know, coincidence? I think not. Definitely not. That was just, that's the first thing that came to my mind when I saw Delsin at the end. I was like, oh, well, you know, Ricky said light, and here we have it, you know, the very next day. So let's move on to the next part of this trailer. I'm going to show it in screenshots so I can talk about it for as long as I'd like. Here we have the star of the show, Delsin Rowe. He appears to be pressing his finger onto the scanning pad, which will draw a little bit of blood and check for the conduit gene. Now, what was cool, and you can actually rewind this video or you can go watch the full trailer. but the part where Delsin touches the scanning pad, to do that in-game, you are going to take the DualShock 4 controller and touch your finger on the touchpad of the controller, and Delsin will touch the scanning pad in the game. I'm sure you already know this, but we've never actually had a visual example of it before. I think that's going to be really, really cool. So here I have Delsin again. After he scanned his finger on the machine, it found the conduit gene in his blood, and the alarm went off, notifying the DUP guards, who come over to Delsin, and he says, very jokingly, best 2 out of 3, which basically means that he scanned his finger once and the alarm went off. So best 2 out of 3, if he scans his finger 2 more times, he would have scanned his finger 3 times in total, and the next 2 times the alarm won't go off. He's making a bet, basically. It's just kind of a joke. So here we have 2 pictures, actually. The first one is of Delsin coming out of a smoke dash and raising his fist, charging up some smoke, and getting ready to slam his fist into the ground, causing a radial blast, which knocks all the DUP guards away from him. I hope this is a lethal power. I want to be able to use this power and kill enemies around me. I don't want this to just stun them and then they get back up, although that's probably what it's going to do. I'm just going to call this power the Grand Slam, because it sounds like a good name. It fits perfectly. So right here, this power reminds me of the rocket from Infamous 1. If you remember, in Infamous 1, when you shot a rocket, it had kind of like that swirly effect. This is what that reminds me of a lot. So far, we have some really good powers. We have the smoke bolt, smoke dash, the chain, the charged bolt, which is like in the E3 demo when Delsin aimed at the big DUP tower, and then he pulled his fist back and smoke surrounded it, and then he shot like this really big ball of fire at the tower. I'm going to call that the charged bolt, because when he pulls his fist back, it looks like he's charging up. Then, of course, we have the orbital drop, which are all very good powers. But let's keep going. There's some other powers later in the trailer I want to talk about that look sick. So let's continue. And it is about time. This picture is awesome because it shows Delsin taking his bare hands and uppercutting a DUP guard, meaning that we have the choice to either use a melee weapon, our chain, or our bare hands, our fists. We can fist fight. So now we finally have a choice to do that. This is awesome. Sucker Punch, it's really looking good so far. Keep it up. So these pictures are pretty cool. I like the way the city is looking so far. It's nighttime. There's a big building in the front of us with neon all over it. It looks beautiful. The lighting is awesome. We got a street light there, some trees. Everything is just gorgeous. It's so beautiful. I'm loving the way the city is looking so far. It actually looks like a real city this time. And now this picture is right after Delsin and Abby fall through the roof of that building. And I'm willing to bet that we are inside a building at this part of the game, which would be the first time we're in a building in an Infamous game. That is completely awesome. I've been waiting for that for so long. Just awesome. So this is Delsin draining smoke from a car wreck to replenish his powers. This is the same way that Cole drained electricity from light poles and electrical boxes, except it's a different animation, and the animation this time looks a lot more cooler. I like the way it looks. He drains it through one arm. It kind of swirls around his hand and up his body, and it looks incredible. Now, if you remember in the E3 gameplay for Second Son, there was a couple DUP soldiers that had the ability to jump a really far distance, and when they jumped, they left behind a spiral column of rocks. It looked like the ice launch from Infamous 2, except with rocks, or earth, as some people called it. I'm assuming that Delsin has this power. That's what it looks like. I don't know what else it could be, so we're just going to go with that answer. Look at Delsin's shoes. They don't look like his Converse anymore. Here's Delsin taking Abby's powers. And here's what I really want for for this power swapping or power stealing part of the game. I want a boss battle to happen before I can take someone's powers. I do not want to be able to walk up to someone and say, oh, hey, how's it going? You know, just going to take your powers. It's too easy, it's too quick, and it's not rewarding. I want to be able to say, I took my time and my effort and my skill to beat the shit out of this conduit, whether it's male or female, and now I'm going to reward myself by taking their powers and gaining a new ability for myself. I want it to be a rewarding experience, so even if it is just a video game, I can look back and say, man, you know, it took me forever to beat this boss, but I beat him, and I got that power, and you know, hell, who knows what else? You might feel good about yourself. It might increase your self-esteem. I don't know. I have no idea. But I just want it to be rewarding. I want it to take skill and effort. I do not want it to be easy. I have some speculation for these pictures. This is a comic cutscene that happens directly after Delsin takes Abby's powers in the trailer. And I'm guessing what this is when you get powers from someone, it also gives you a flashback of a memory from that person's brain. So this looks like Abby when she got her powers. This looks like her training, this looks like a military training grounds with the targets and everything. Maybe she was trying to join up with the DUP and they were giving her training sessions. I'm just assuming this right now. Maybe she was trying to work with them. Here's the DUP van going into a walled-off area, kind of like it looks like a quarantine zone, but obviously it's not. Like a holding facility or a base, a DUP base maybe. Maybe they were bringing Abby in there to meet the head honcho, the leader of the DUP. Maybe she was just that good of a conduit. Or maybe Abby is the red-haired lady in the announcement trailer that everybody thought was Moya. You remember in the announcement trailer when the red-haired lady walks in and says, I want him alive? Yeah. Could that be Abby? Do you think so? Now, some people, the reason this picture is on the screen is because that silhouette, I think the black shadow, looks like that lady. Anyway, some people are going to say, no, you're stupid. Abby has purple hair and piercings, and she dresses completely different. Okay. You can dye your hair, you can take your piercings out, you can change your clothes. There's plastic surgery, there's a lot of stuff that can make people look different. Okay. So my question is, do you think something happened to Abby? Maybe when her and Delsin had that big battle, and Delsin took her powers, she got mad and joined the DUP to try to stop him. Hey, the lady said, I want him alive in the trailer. So you never know. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. I'll be glad to hear it. And here we are at the end of the trailer with Delsin walking away from the scene of the crime with some sweet new abilities. This power looks awesome. I'm not sure what Sucker Punch is going to plan on calling it, but as you see here, he's walking down the street and then he drains the light out of that sign and absorbs it into himself for use of his own powers, which looks... I can't even begin to explain how completely badass this is going to be to use this power. His eyes turn purple. God, it just looks awesome. Sucker Punch is doing an extremely good job this time around. I can't wait to give this a play. So tell me what you think. Something that I said in the analysis, something that you didn't understand, a question you have, maybe it's something I didn't say that you want to know about. Go ahead, leave it in the comments. I'd be glad to read through and talk with you. Also, one last announcement. Me and Ricky and a couple other people are working on a project. We can't tell you what it is on YouTube. If you want to know, message me on Facebook or YouTube. Thanks for watching.